Hare Krishna. Stand to greet the deities. Stand for the arti. Everybody standing for the arti, please. Shri Shri Radha Govinda Dev Ki Jai, Shri Shri Nitai Sachinanda Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Aschachari Shantari Namaste Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Aschachari Shantari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Now just me. Hare Krishna, just me. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Now me only. Hare Krishna, me only. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now all of you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Now me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Now me only. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Now just me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, That's just me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Go.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Satchinandan Gaurari Nitai Satchinandan Gaurari
Jaya Nitya Satchinandana Gaurari Jaya Nitya Satchinandana Gaurari
Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada
Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada
Shri Radha Govinda ki Nitai Satchinandan Gaurari ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribhaji Jaya Astottara Sadashishi Mad His Divine Loving Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Anantakoti Vaishnava ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Rasa Hari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopanand Shamakund Radhikund Giri Govardhan ki Shri Ganga Jamuna Maya ki Srimati Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki ISKCON founder Acharya VBT founder Acharya His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Gaur. All glories to several devotees. All glories to several devotees. All glories to several devotees. All glories lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Lada Jayine. Prahlada Lada Jayine. Hiranyakashipur Vaksha Hiranyakashipur Vaksha Shilatanka Nakalaye Shilatanka Nakalaye Shilatanka Nakalaye Ito Nisimha Parato Nisimo Ito Nisimha Parato Nisimo Yato Yato Yamikato Nisimha Yato Yato Yamikato Nisimha Yato Yamikato Nisimha Kai Nisimo Kai Nisimo Kai Nisimo Nisimo Narsingamanin Saranam Kapare Narsingamanin Saranam Narsingamanin Saranam Kapare Bhavakara Kamala Vare Nakam Maruta Sringam Garita Hiranyakasipu Sadhuvingam Keshava Dvita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Bhavakara Nakam Maruta Sringam Garita Hiranyakasipu Keshava Krishna Hari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Savakara Kamala Vareda Kamaruta Shinga Dalila Hiranyakashipu Chanubinga Keshavasita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Jagadisha Savakara Kamala Keshavasita Hari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Nisimare Jaya Nisimare Nisimare Jaya Nisimare Jaya Nisimare Jaya Nisimare Jaya Nisimare Jaya Nisimare 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 Jaya Nisimare Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jila Prabhupada. Sri Nrsimha Bhagavan ki, Sri Prahlad Maharaj ki, Ranga Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hari Hari Bol. Jai. Hari Bol, that was a wonderful kirtan. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you please kindly turn this way. Thank you very much. Thank you. Those of you who are sitting at the back, you're already facing us. Thank you very much. So, welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. Please come in, come in, come in. Plenty of room down here. Plenty of room at the front. Squeeze up a bit. Thank you very much. Please, people here, could you come a bit closer to the speaker? Please, thank you. Come away from the door. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Very good. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Earlier on, I was speaking with some of the guests as you were getting off the boat, and quite a few people from Hyderabad here today, isn't it? Yes, wow. Very nice, very welcome. How many are coming for the first time? Wow, at least 2. Well done. And when you spoke to the boatman when he was bringing you across, he told you, right, that when you come across, it's only one way on a Sunday. He told you that. Yes? You remember that bit? And he got you to sign, right? You know yourself, when you go towards Krishna, there's no going back. Krishna's standing there, he's playing the bansuri, he's playing for our pleasure, he's playing for his pleasure, and all the whole spiritual world is all here, right on the altar. And here in the kirtan and here in the holy names, Krishna is not different from his name. So you're all very, very, very rare souls. You've come here today on this wonderful occasion. We have a wonderful speaker here with us today, all the way from Vrindavan. All the way from Vrindavan. Any of you have ever been to Vrindavan? All your life. We have a Brijbasi. Oh. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. So, this is none other than Smarahari Prabhu. He has been a devotee since the late 60s. He was the first European to go to India as a bhakta, as a devotee of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. He has much, much, much experience in Krishna consciousness. He's been traveling and preaching all over the world his whole life. A very dedicated servant of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. And he's come here today especially to give us this wonderful pravachan. He's going to speak on Bhagavad Gita. And please, if the children get a bit loud, if you don't mind, please just take them outside and put them in the lake. Thank you very much. So if the children are very welcome, but if it gets a bit noisy, please don't be afraid to leave. Don't try it, or just give them plenty of doot. That'll keep them quiet. Okay, thank you very much. Now I'll hand over now to Smara Hari Prabhu, who's going to give us this wonderful talk. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hyderabad. Hyderabad was the first ISKCON temple in India. I was there. We had a Pandal program. And a very nice gentleman, G. Pulareddy. He's famous for his sweet shops. He was very impressed by Srila Prabhupada's talk, and he gifted this piece of land right there on Nampally Station Road. And so there were 8 of us. We traveled in a vehicle, and we traveled throughout Andhra and into Karnataka, and we would request different businessmen, different people, you please, we are building a temple, you please help us. So in this way, rupee by rupee, we collected the money to build that wonderful temple there. This was the very first. The second temple I was involved in helping to build, fund, and so many aspects of the building was in Vrindavan. The third was in Mumbai. And the fourth was in West Bengal, in Mayapur, which is a very, very large project and has been going on for decades, this project, this building. In those days, we had the 4 temples. ISKCON had 4 temples. And now today, there are 485 ISKCON temples in India. And when we count the places where we do weekly programs, for example, the brahmacharis may go to one temple to do a reading Bhagavad Gita. Then there is over 850 places that ISKCON does every week. So it's become a very good brand. It's become a very good brand name. And as you know, when you tell your parents, you tell your mother, you tell your father, you tell your grandparents, oh, we went to the ISKCON temple, they say, oh, very good, this is very nice, you are doing very well. You are doing better than what they thought you were doing, coming to the West. So, ISKCON is a wonderful thing, and I'm going to just read a verse here and have a little discussion. And I just came from New York, and in New York we had the 60th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada in 1966. He incorporated the ISKCON, he registered the ISKCON society. So rather than just come as a sadhu and to do his pravachan, he wanted to give something lasting, something that would go on down through the decades. So he registered ISKCON, and we're just this year celebrating the 60th anniversary. So they had a wonderful celebration over 3 days in just a few weeks ago. And the chief guest who came to the program was none other than Hema Malini. And she's a very, very nice person. She's a very nice devotee. She's very famous. She says she's been in 200 films. She's very, very famous for dance routines and so many things. And she spoke so nicely. And she said everything that she has, everything she has attained, she attributes to being the devotee of Krishna, and Krishna has blessed her very, very nicely. We also had the ambassador from New York, the Indian ambassador. So many dignitaries. It was a very, very nice, very, very nice program. So after 60 years, and the acid test is actually in India. Well, like for example, in Delhi, we have 18 temples, 18 ISKCON temples in Delhi. And each temple is in a different area, a different postal area, a different area. And the entire funding for each of those temples has come from the local people, the local businesses, the local householders. So it's something that people really value. They have a high value on having an ISKCON temple. And sometimes even some people will come to one temple and they will come to the president, someone like Vidura, and they will say, Swamiji, would you consider having an ISKCON temple in our town? And then they usually say, well, first of all, we need a piece of land. They said, yes, we have a piece of land. We have a piece of allocated land. And then we have 20 lakhs. And when we make it, we have so many commitments, so many things. So there's so many people eager for the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, the teachings of Krishna. ISKCON who is broadcasting these teachings. This is so popular in India. So you people, Hyderabad and other places, you should understand that although you are here in the Western countries, and although this will make your home, and although your children, many of them are British or Irish citizens because they have been born here, although this, you should really be very careful, very cautious not to cut yourself off from your culture. Because practically speaking, there is no Western culture. That you see the people, they are not cultured people. They are not. So as for you people to hold on to your culture, and one way that you can do this is by keeping in touch with ISKCON. There's a very nice facility here. Each of you are meeting people that you didn't know. Oh, you are married to such and such. You are my cousin brother. It's a very nice social situation to come here to any of the ISKCON temples. But you should not be remiss in applying yourselves to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, as was demonstrated so nicely, as was introduced by our founding guru, by Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya. So in 1966, he founded ISKCON. It's been 6 decades later. We're just growing from strength to strength to strength. This is your place. You are very welcome. You please come as often as you can. You engage in a little seva, because this is the key to understanding Krishna, to bhakti, to do some seva to Krishna. You do some little seva. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. He said, offer me with love, a leaf, a fruit, some water, a flower. A child can do this. Any person can do this. You just give something with love to Krishna. This is and from there it will just grow and grow and grow. Srila Prabhupada was very often, he said, if you take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take 1,000 steps towards you. Now, each of us married people, we have our responsibilities. You have your children. There's so much responsibilities. Who thinks family is important? So I want you to tell me, what was the name of your family members in your previous life? Who were the previous life family members? Because in each life we have family. And yes, we have responsibility to these family members, but we are eternal spiritual souls. The Atma is eternal. It goes from life to life to life until finally there is moksha. And so this is our real interest. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Raj Vidyam Raj Guyam. He said this is the king of education, the education of understanding the soul. So the purpose of ISKCON, the purpose of Swami Prabhupada coming to the Western countries was purely to educate people on what is the nature of the soul. So there are many other aspects of your life, your qualification, what kind of car you get, will you get the electric car? There's so many different aspects of your life which are not satisfied by ISKCON. ISKCON is purely giving spiritual teachings for the eternal soul. And what I have noticed is many times I see the grandmothers, I see them crying that they have come to the Western world, the children are born here, and more they just become like Western children, practically indistinguishable. So the more that you come to the mandir, the more that you introduce them to the teachings, the more that they are as children, they're very happy here, they like to come here, they like the prasad, the more as they grow, they will imbibe aspects of this spiritual culture. And then at the time of death, they too can have progressive birth, because for most of us it will take some time. We are not great yogis, Vishwamitra Muni, or we are not great. We will take some births, and so mostly the more that we so really Krishna consciousness is just about preparing ourselves at the time of death for our next birth. This is what it is. So just like if we graduate in school from one class to the next class, then if we do our work, then we can easily transition to the next class. And if we are not completed our studies, if we haven't completed the lessons of this life, we will have again and again and again to take another birth in this human body. One devotee, he said to Srila Prabhupada, he said, Prabhupada, according to statistics, he said, the world is becoming more and more crowded. And Prabhupada said, yes. He said, in Kali Yuga becomes very crowded. He said, because once reaching this human form of life, minimum we should go to Swarg. Minimum we should go to the heavenly planets. But because people are so sinful and doing so many sinful activities, they are not getting the qualification to rise to the other planet. So again, they have to come back again. And he said, Kali Yuga becomes very overcrowded because people are not graduating. The child, he has to do class 3 again. He's not going on to class 4. He's not learning his. So this is the purpose of ISKCON. The purpose of ISKCON is that all of us can have an understanding of what are the actual teachings of Krishna and how we can apply these teachings in our lives so that at the time of death we can execute our responsibilities in this life. We can be good parents, good citizens, good brothers and sisters, family members, but also at the time of death, then we can graduate nicely to another birth. One time Srila Prabhupada was in Los Angeles and he was being interviewed by this television interviewer, and she was very aggressive. She was just trying to very aggressive in her questions and so on, and trying to criticize spiritual life, trying to criticize India. She said, well, what about the death rate in India? What about the rate that people are dying in India? And Srila Prabhupada said, it's exactly the same as here, 100%. Everyone's dying. It's the same, 100% people are dying. There's no difference between India and Japan and Korea. Everyone is dying. So the purpose of Krishna consciousness, the purpose of these temples is that when we die at the time of death, we are prepared to go into class 4 from class 3. This is the entire purpose. Then class 5, then eventually to get moksha and never take birth again in this material world. In this material world, there's birth, old age, disease, death. All of the spiritual teachers in all of the different kinds of religion all over the world, they would describe this material world as a place of tests, as a place of suffering. So we do get some enjoyment here for sure, but mostly there's so much stress, but when we're in our pure Sat Chit Ananda spiritual body, there is no more stress, there is no more. This is the goal of the Vedic civilization. So, let me read something here. This is from Bhagavad Gita. It's was translated into English by our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. And in this chapter 2, verse 20, Krishna, he is speaking to Arjun. He said, Najayate mriyate va kadachin, nanyat budva bhavita va nabhuyaha, ajo nitya shashvato yam purana, nahanyate hanyamini sarire. He said, for the soul, there is neither birth nor death, nor having once been, does he ever cease to be. The soul is unborn, undying, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. Primeval is very, very, very old. He is not slain when the body is slain. So when the body dies, the soul does not die. It goes on, it's eternal. So, in the explanation of this verse, Srila Prabhupada says, qualitatively, that means of the same kind, qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. So, in Vaishnava philosophy, they are saying that the jiva is very, very small, and Krishna, he is very, very big, and the jiva never becomes the big Krishna. The small jiva is eternally the small jiva. And there are other understandings, even from India, in which they say the small jiva is actually Krishna, and everything is just the same, everything is nirguna, without any qualities. But Vaishnavism, the great teachers of Vaishnavism, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, Ballabhacharya, Baladev Vidyabhusana, Chaitanya Maharaj, so many, they are teaching that we are very small and the Lord, he is very, very big. The jiva, the small soul, sometimes the soul is called steady or kutasya. The body is subject to 6 types of transformations. It takes birth in the womb of the mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dwindles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. So for the soul, there is birth, there is some growth, usually there is some offspring, there is some dwindling, and finally there is death. The soul, however, does not go through these changes. The soul is not born, but because he takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth here, and the soul does not die. Anything which has a birth also has a death. And because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, present, or future. He is eternal, ever-existing, and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being. So the soul is eternal. It's not born in the material world. It's from the spiritual place, and it has no birth here in the material world. The Sanskrit word that they use to describe this phenomenon is anadi. The soul is it's anadi. Anadi means beginningless, before time began, eternal. It's just a very, very, very long time that the soul has had existence. Under the impression of the body, we seek the history of birth, etc., of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old. The body becomes old, but the soul never becomes old. The so-called old man, therefore, feels himself to be in the same spirit as his childhood or as his youth. It's not that we become old, we don't even feel we're becoming, but the body definitely becomes old. The changes of the body do not affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree deteriorates, nor anything material which deteriorates. The soul has no byproduct either. The byproducts are of the body, children, and also different individual souls. And onto the body, they appear as children of a particular man. So you have your children, but these are children from the body. The soul is separate from the body. You have your own soul. The child has his own soul. The body develops because of the soul's presence. The material atheistic scientists, their opinion is that there has been some grouping of atoms, and this is what produces life. There's evolution, there's different species and so on. But they say in science, they say the hard question is, very hard question, for which they know they have no answer. If these little atoms are bumping together and combining, how does consciousness manifest? So if we, in certain conditions, if hydrogen is mixed with oxygen, we get water. We came across the boat in the water. This is simply an arrangement of hydrogen and oxygen. So they are saying everything is just arrangement of atoms, sometimes more complex than water, but they cannot even begin to understand what is consciousness. Why is there consciousness? Why do you remember things? You can remember when you were the small boy. That memory, that consciousness, that awareness is there, and this is not produced by any arrangement of different types of atoms. Consciousness is a symptom of the Atma. Consciousness is a symptom of the soul. Wherever you have the soul, you have consciousness. There's different levels of consciousness according to the different types of body. Even if they put meters and measures on a leaf, you cut the leaf, it feels pain. Even a little leaf, it doesn't have a high consciousness. We have a very special consciousness in which we can discern between spirit and matter. And this, according to the Vedic science, is the complete reason, the only reason, the complete reason why we have this body, so that we can get out of this material world. It's like a springboard. It's like I saw children jumping on the trampoline. It's like you can jump on the human body is a trampoline to get to the higher systems and eventually to get moksha. And this is the purpose of the human form of life. And the purpose of ISKCON is to describe this to people. So we have temples all over the world. We publish this Bhagavad Gita in 160 languages throughout the world. There are so many obscure language, Mongolian. It's translated into the Mongolian language. You know it's in your own languages, in Telugu and so many languages. In India, you know it's been translated into 160 languages. The only reason that it's successful in these languages is because people are taking the book. They are taking the book. We sell one edition. We're printing a new edition. People are very eager for this knowledge that they are not the body, they are a spirit soul. And you people, this is your culture. This is where you have come from. Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, you have come to the Western world, but at least there is increased earnings here. You can have a more comfortable life. There's many facilities for living in the West. But my plea to you, my prayer to you, is that you do not become enamored by these facilities and forget your culture. Because one, like Prabhupada said to the reporter, death rate is same here in India, same, American India, same, 100%. So 100% when we die, and it's a very short time, very short time. When we die, the material scientists, they are thinking that this planet is maybe 13.5 billion years old. They are thinking. And if we live for 100 years, which is a long time nowadays, people are dying 50, 60, 70. If we live for 100 years, and the planet is 13.5 billion years old, then how many births have we had? How long have we been here? Long, long time. Long, long time. So now the purpose of this Krishna consciousness, of the ISKCON society, is to give people the teachings. Now we are 160 languages. People are eager to have these teachings. In India itself, 485 temples. In Delhi itself, 18 temples. So people are very, very eager for this. This is why people like me, we are taking to this Krishna consciousness. I was a student. I was in London, and I was always interested in Eastern philosophy. I did not have any access to Vaishnava teachings. There was only the teachings of Shankaracharya, that Brahman is Nirguna, he has no form, he is energy, he is light, there is no personality. And because this was prevalent, then it was very similar to me to Buddhism. I thought there's nothing there. When I'm in India and I'm waiting for the train, I'm waiting for the Kalka Mail or something to go from Delhi to Calcutta, then I will hear that on the Tannoy system they have the name of the train, Ek, Ad, Do, Shunya. Shunya, nothing. And this is the goal of Buddhism, just nothingness. After this life, there's nothing. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. Life is an illusion, there's nothing. Or in the teachings of the Advaita school in India, again, it's formlessness, nirguna. It's no qualities, almost the same as nothing. There's no qualities, no... So, I was familiar with this, and I was a young boy. I was trying to study, how can I be nothing? I have these memories. It's very difficult. I had a great difficulty to understand Buddhism then. And now, 50 years later, I still have how can it be nothing? I still have a very great philosophically to understand at the end that there's nothing. So, then I met the devotees. There were some original devotees. They went from San Francisco to open up the very first ISKCON temple. And I met those devotees. They were very, very nice. I had some deep philosophical questions which they weren't answering very nicely. And then I understood these people, they are just students. They actually, I need to see the teacher who is teaching them according to their understanding. And then they told me that Srila Prabhupada, the teacher, he was coming. So I said, oh, this is wonderful. They say he's coming. So the next morning, I went to the temple. I arrived early in the morning, and the devotees were waiting on the stairs for Srila Prabhupada to come down the stairs. He had arrived to go on his morning walk. So about 6 or 8 of them, they went, and I joined them on the walk. So we walked near to the temple. There was one park, one square, like they have in Dublin, these square parks. It was Russell Square. So then I joined them, but I did not know what was going on. So very soon, the devotees, they were grouped around Srila Prabhupada. They were grouped around him. And I was at the back. It was a very narrow path. And it was a path that had broken stones. It had pieces of stone, gravel on the path. It wasn't a hard path. So as they were walking and Prabhupada was speaking, there was 10 people crunching on the stones, and I couldn't hear what was going on, and I was trying to. And Srila Prabhupada, he was from India. He had an Indian pronunciation. I wasn't familiar with the pronunciation, how he was, and I was thinking, oh, this is important. I want to hear what he's saying. But I was directly behind him. He wasn't speaking loudly, and the others were listening. There was a group of people. Everybody was crunching on the path, and I could not. So I was going nearer and nearer, and I actually put my head very close to Srila Prabhupada, just my ear, to try to catch what he was saying. And then after some time, he stopped. He turned around and he looked at me, because in walking very close to him like this, I had clipped his shoe. My toes had clipped his heel, and he just had a slipper from India, a canvas shoe, and he walked out of his shoe. So he was on his socks were there, he was on the gravel, the shoe was there, nobody knew what was going on. Prabhupada just turned around and looked at me, nobody knew. And Prabhupada looked down at his shoe, and his shoe was there. And then the other, but who is this guy? Why is come? Why is, and I was just very, very embarrassed. I was 18, just a boy. How old are you? I was 18, just a boy. And there was this Indian guru and his followers, and I was and Prabhupada, he looked at me. For some time, he was looking. I was just very shy, and he said to me, you must always walk 3 feet behind the spiritual master. So, this was the very first instruction I got. And later, when I explained this, other devotees, they would say to me, this was the point that he accepted you as his disciple and gave you an instruction and knowing you would follow it. But for me, this instruction wasn't just that I should be 36 inches, I should be 1 meter, I should be, when they measure the cloth, ekhat. This wasn't what it was. My understanding was I should never think that I know more than my teacher. No matter how much education I have, no matter what books I read, I can do a PhD, I can do this, but I must always understand that I will never know, because I am just approaching this from the point of of knowledge, gathering knowledge, having some empiric system, whereas I can amass and gather knowledge. Where Srila Prabhupada, we understand he was a very advanced person. When we were going from Hyderabad, we went all the way down, just going to towns, asking business people, we're building a temple, will you please become a life member? The life membership in those days was 1,111 rupees. That was for the life membership. So anyone who got a life membership in those days, that was a good, as they say, they got in on the ground floor. And so 1,000, how many euros is this? 1,100 rupees. 10 euro. They got the whole life subscription, the magazine, the book, for 10 euro. So we were doing, and eventually we went down to Udupi. And we went to the Udupi Krishna temple for the first time. And we went to the people, they introduced us to the Swamijis. And we said, we would like to have a program here. We have a program. We do kirtan. We do, and they said, yes, you can have the kirtan. You can have your program here. So at the time, the system in Udupi is that Madhvacharya, he had 8 principal disciples, all of whom took sannyas. And in their system, everybody gets married. Everyone is householder except for the guru. And the guru is sannyas. And the system is, so there's no breakage in the line, just like the royal family in England. You get King Charles, he will never travel with his children. They all travel separately. If the plane crashes, if there's any accident, if there's still they have some living members who can continue the line. So they do this in Udupi also. They have the older guru, and he chooses a young boy from the Gurukul. They have thousands of children, and they choose one boy astrologically and by so many methods. They choose a boy to be the young guru, and he is taught by the older guru. But they don't travel to. They're always so somebody is alive to continue the line. So in this system, each guru, he trains his junior guru. But Vidyaman Tirtha was such a scholar. He had 3 separate PhDs in aspects of Sanskrit language. He was such a scholar, such a logician. He had such a great understanding, photographic memory, and so on. He was actually training 4 of his own guru, his own junior, and 3 others. So all of them were there. They were all at the program. We showed the Hare Krishna film, the Hare Krishna people. We had a film. It was on Super 8 projector with the reels going around. The reels were going around. It was flickering with a light. We had a bed sheet. We put up a bed sheet on white chadar, and it was playing like this. So then the film was played, the lights went back. The film was about all of what ISKCON had achieved around the world, what ISKCON was doing around the world in those early days. So the lights went back on, and Vidyaman Tirtha, they looked at him. He was the scholar, he was the big guru, he was the chief guru amongst the guru. They looked at him, and he began to speak. He said, this is like might be 1973. He said, the subtle, he said it describes in the Ayurvedic Shastras that the subtle body extends 1 meter beyond the gross body. He said in this meter, there is a sphere of influence. You can become influenced by the subtle energies of other people. He said this is why we are very, very careful with whom we associate. And he said we're especially careful with our children, who our children get to play with, get to associate with, and most especially the young sannyasi who's going to be the guru. He said, and this is why Indian swamis, they do not go to the Western world. He said in the Western world, there are so many people who have demoniac tendencies. He said, if we would go there, we would become influenced by this. He said, so this is why swamis from India, they do not go outside of India. He said, we only preach in our own communities, not even other castes, not even other in India. He said, when we see Swami Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami, when we see he has gone to the Western countries, and not only has he not become influenced by these people who have no culture, who have low energies and so on, not even becoming influenced by them, but by his potency, he is making tens of thousands of people into Vaishnavas. He's a big scholar. He has three PhDs. He is completely conversant with Vedic philosophy. He said, we do not understand what is the nature of this potency. What Prabhupada is doing, it is not in the books. It's that there's no indication that this would ever happen throughout Vedic history. That one Swamiji would go with great compassion, with great understanding, and he would go to the Western world and he would give people the process from escaping this cycle of birth and death. So practically speaking, we will be here eternally, practically speaking. Birth after birth, suffering each time, so many different... I was talking to my sister, and she was saying to me, she said, you do not understand how much women have to suffer in this world. Some man is telling you what to do. Always the man is bossing you. He says, you don't understand. the mansplaining, she was telling me, that they're just take charge. She said the woman has to be, she said, you should, she's a nice devotee. She said, you should really try not to have a woman's body in your next life. She said, and more suffering than the man. More suffering. So the point is that each birth there is a different type of suffering, a different type of disease, a different type of death, a different type of... But we can escape this by taking to the teachings of Krishna that he gave in Bhagavad Gita. This is why Arjun was suffering so much. He was being asked to fight with his relatives, his teachers, his cousins, his friends. He was asked to fight with them. And Krishna, the whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that this is just the body. You cannot kill the soul. And right in the beginning, chapter 2, Nahanyate, Anyamanye, Sarire, there is neither birth nor death for the soul. He said, you are grieving for what is not worthy of grief. You are foolish. You are things. So the whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita, which is considered the most erudite philosophical treatise that's anywhere on the world, this is what ISKCON is, the purpose of ISKCON. So when Vidura, he was asking you to raise your hands, who has just come. Many of you came for the first time. So instead of having... I see friends in India, they show me, oh, we went to Europe, they show me the pictures. They were standing beside the Eiffel Tower, they were standing beside London Bridge, they were standing the picture of the Statue of Liberty, and so many different things that they are. So instead of having this as just, oh yes, we went there, we've been to Innisrath, it was nice, the ducks, we saw the deer, and the boat, it was a small boat, we had to split the family up because only 9 of them, all the different, instead of just having this as your one time to come here, the purpose of this place is so that you can come many, many times, you can imbibe the teachings, you can start to do a little seva, a little bhakti, you can establish your own personal relationship with Sri Krishna. And there's many different types of relationships. You can have a parental relationship, as a friend, as a gopi, as a servant. There's many different 5 different rasas you can have with Krishna. And then as you're chanting, your rasa will become evident to you. What is your taste? And this is the purpose. This is the purpose of this place. So I ask you, you have come one time from Hyderabad. I've been to Hyderabad, Secunderabad. I'm in Delhi, and I'm planning again to go to Hyderabad soon because there's one item in IKEA that I want to get. So IKEA has that. Is it Hyderabad? They are talking about making it in Bombay, but in Delhi, but not yet. Gurgaon, not there. So there's one thing I want from opening this. I want this. I can't get it anywhere. Maybe online. So Hyderabad and all the other places, somehow or other, you have come to Ireland, and somehow or other, this place was never intended for the people to live here. None of the ISKCON temples. They are not intended. They were never ever intended. The purpose was not that some people could. There used to be some aristocratic person. This was his house. So some rich man. He was a lord. He was he was like a raja. He was a special person with. This was his house. This is where he lived. This is why the place was built. So we are not thinking, oh, now we can be the Raja, we can live here. No, this is not our purpose. The purpose of this place is so that you can come. All of you can come. So I ask you, with folded hands, you please find time in your very busy schedules. I know you're very busy. You have so many responsibilities. I know you're very busy, but you please find time in your very, very busy schedules so that we have a place in Dublin also, we have a place in Belfast, But this is very, very, you please take full advantage of this human form of life. Because the purpose of this human form of life, as is explained in Brahma Sutras, Atato Brahma Jignasa. Atato, now is the time to inquire of what is the nature of Brahman, what is the nature of the spirit. And what is now, our acharyas are explaining now, is that now we have this human form of life. I came with my friend, I'm staying with a friend, he has a dog. You saw the small dog, some of you saw it, it's outside, he comes here often, he enjoys this place. But the dog is not capable of making spiritual inquiry. He doesn't have the form, the body that he has doesn't allow the consciousness to manifest so that he can understand. Brahma Jignasa, what is the nature of Brahman? He doesn't have that capacity. So there's so many millions of different life forms, so many millions of species. So the understanding is that now that we have graduated to this class, now we have this human form of life, we have the capacity to understand what is the nature of spirit. And this is the purpose of the human form of life, to understand this. There's no other purpose. Now, on the way, it behooves us to have a situation where we're comfortable, where we can protect our children, where we can make so many plans for our material existence. We can get the kind of clothes that we like, the kind that is, but we have to maintain our body. We need health for the body. The body needs to be maintained. But the purpose of life is not to maintain the body. It's not that we live to eat. We are eating to live. And the purpose of our life is to understand what is this Krishna conscious movement, what is the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, what is my real self-interest, how can I apply myself. And the reason that we have 500 temples in India, all over India, the reason we have these temples, the reason that there's congregations, is because people are examining, let me see what Krishna says, let me look, let me get a Sanskrit, let me just see what exactly. And say, yes, this is the reason for this human form of life. So it's been very, very nice. It's time now for Kirtan. I will finish now. I have time for one quick question. Does anyone have a question? Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. When we are talking about the soul and all these things, right? Our main purpose in coming into the world is to serve the God, which is understandable. Everyone needs to get to that space. But when we are serving the God, what is the main thing that God is expecting from us?
I quoted that verse earlier that Krishna, he explains to Arjuna, Patram, Pushpam, Palam, Toyam. If you offer me a leaf, a fruit, a water, some flower with love, I will accept it. So the means to obtain a dialogue with God, the means to have an understanding of God, is to develop a loving relationship with God. And so in the Kali Santran Upanishad, it is explained there is a conversation between Lord Brahma and Narad Muni. And Narad Muni, he is saying, things are looking bad. I can see that the age of Kali is about to occur. People's qualities are lessening, their memory, their stature, I can just see, and this is just the beginning. He said, in this age, what is the most effective way to cultivate awareness of God. What is the most effective way? And there is a conversation. You can see it. It's on Google. So many places you can get it online. There is a conversation, and Lord Brahma, he's saying the most effective way is to chant the names of God. And he said, which names? He said, any names of God. You can chant Allah, Allah, Jehovah, Jehovah, any name of God, Ram, any name of God you can chant is effective. In Kali Yuga, it will purify us, focus. And he said, he said, but what's the most effective? He said, in Kali Yuga, the most effective means of attaining spiritual consciousness, to understand what is our real nature and to understand what is our relationship with the Supreme Lord, is the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this is why we devotees, we chant on our beads. We have beads. We chant on the mala, every day we chant on the mala. And this is what gives us the understanding. This is what gives us the protection. This is what gives us the determination. This is what gives us the impetus to do this. So when you are driving back home, and if you stop for petrol somewhere, I see there's many little spar shops. You stop in a little spar shop and you look at any of these Irish people who are buying their milk and their bread, buying the newspaper, whatever they're buying there, and you look at that person was me. That person was these people. Before we started to chant Hare Krishna, we were exactly, it's maybe my uncle you saw. Maybe my brother, maybe my cousin, maybe the person who works beside me, the person, this is us. We are those people. And the only reason that we are now taking to a path of Brahma Jignasa, dedicating our lives to understand what is the nature of spirit, what is my relationship with God. The only reason we are doing this, the only reason we started to do this, is because of chanting Hare Krishna. It is the medicine for Kali Yuga. It is the medicine for Kali Yuga. And the proof is that it works on the non-Vedic people. That according to the Vedic system, you have the different castes, that the people who don't even qualify to be Shudras. There's Malecha people, very fallen, very low-class people, according to the Vedic. We people, we have taken to this spiritual life very, very purely. Pure vegetarian food. We don't eat onion. We don't eat garlic. I haven't had a cup of tea, I think, more than 50 years. I don't drink tea. I don't drink coffee. It's a very, very strict diet. The reason I can do this is because I'm chanting Hare Krishna. No other reason. It sounds unbelievable. There is a product which costs nothing. It costs you absolutely nothing to chant Hare Krishna. You can do it in your car, going up at any time, Hare Krishna. Anytime you can do this. And you will find that you are becoming immunized against being attracted to the sinful activities that the ordinary person is attracted to. Any person in the way, you pick the man that drive the first car, you interview the man, do you, yes, I do this every year. This is his life, to do these sinful activities. Meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, so much gambling, these activities, this is what they live for. This is where they get their joy. This is where they get their, and then you can prevent doing this. You can be immunized. You can get the vaccine against this by the chanting of the Hare Krishna. And it works because it works on us Western people. We are exactly like the people who you see. 100% exact. Maybe even worse than these people. These people might actually be much more refined than I was when I started this process. But it works because daily we do the chanting, and daily we keep the focus in this aspiration, and this is the most important thing that we can do. I'm going to finish now. There's going to be kirtan. I hope the kirtan is very nicely Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Devotees, please stay. We'll continue kirtan. Live music.
Can you speak louder?
Please stay. Don't go out. We continue live kirtan for you. For the God.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaura Вани Прачарине Нирвишеша Шуньявади Пашатяны Шатарине Намасте Сарасвати Деве Гаурамани Прачарине Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyanvishatari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Sing please Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama